everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am announcing the next 3 months of my book club picks. So this video is going to go through the next 3 months of my Patreon book club picks. This is going to be for April, May, and June. If you would like to join us and have not before, I do have a link to the Patreon link down below. The book club starts at $3 a month. We do have a new book every single month with a discussion and everything like that. There are more tiers. There's a tier just to support me if you would like to. That does not include the book club, but we also have a tier that's a little bit more expensive at $7 US a month, but you get a brand new handmade bookmark every single month. So today we're talking about the book club picks. Now, every quarter I am trying to include an indie book, a newish released book, so anything within the last year probably, and a backlist book that I have just been wanting to read and have not. So starting in April, we're actually going to have our indie book. This is a book that I was going back and forth on a couple different choices. I have recently read and really enjoyed Legends and Lattes, so I wanted something that was close to the cozy fantasy side. I had 2 different options, wasn't entirely too sure what to pick, so I did actually post a poll on Patreon and in my Discord, and the votes were quite heavily in favor of the more urban fantasy one, so not 100% cozy, but I'm very excited to share that we are going to be reading Minimum Wage Magic by Rachel Aaron. So this is technically, I think, her second series in this world, but you do not have to read the first series in order to understand this one. And I just thought this one sounded really fun. It's been on my radar for quite a while. It is on Kindle Unlimited in case you have that on Amazon. And so this is going to be, like I said, more of like an urban fantasy. And it says, making a living is hard. In a lawless city where gods are real, dragons are traffic hazards, and buildings move around on their own, it can feel downright impossible. Good thing freelance mage Opal Young-ae has never let little things like impossibility stop her. She's found a way to put her overpriced magical art history degree to use as a cleaner, a contract municipal employee who empties out abandoned apartments and resells the unusual treasures she finds inside for a profit. It's not a pretty job or a safe one. There's a reason she wears bite-proof gloves, but when you're neck deep in debt to a very magical, very nasty individual, you can't be picky about where the money comes from. But even Opal's low standards are put to the test when the only thing of value in her latest apartment is the body of the previous tenant. Dealing with the dead isn't technically part of her job, but this mage died hiding a secret that could be worth a lot of money, and Opal's the only one who knows. With debts she can't pay due at the end of the week, this could be the big break she's been waiting for. But in a city of runaway magic where getting in over your head generally means losing it, the cost of chasing the opportunity might be more than Opal can survive. So again, indie book, gonna be on Kindle Unlimited, very sort of more urban fantasy, which we have not picked so far for the book club. And the fact that I feel like this is going to be a very interesting one to read and discuss, this is going to be our April pick. Moving into May, this is when I decided to go with a new release. So this is a book that actually came out near the fall of last year in 2023. But one thing that some people have mentioned to me, and this is something that I also noticed as we started going through the book club picks, is I picked February's book for the new release, and it had come out in January, and people that did not want to actually purchase the book, which is completely valid, they wanted to get it from the library, it was having a very long wait from the library. It was very popular, or libraries were not getting a ton of copies and people were still wanting to read a new release. 100% makes sense. So what I decided to do is pick a book, first of all, that was released a few months ago versus just like 1 month. But also I'm trying to give you guys enough time to request this book if it's something that you would like to do. So when I decided to pick this book, first of all, it is a standalone instead of part of a series, which I thought would be a very good thing to have. And I checked with my library. Again, not every single library is going to be the same, but at least for Phoenix, Arizona, the ebook version of this book is readily available. The audiobook version is available in about less than 2 months, which I'm giving you at least 2 months to get this book. We'll discuss it in June. And I'm sure you could probably get a physical copy from the library as well. So hopefully by the time this goes live, this video, you will have enough time to request it if you would like to read it with us. We are going to be reading After the Forest by Kel Woods. So like I said, this is going to be a standalone book, and I liked the idea that this is a semi-fairy tale retelling or a fairy tale continuation, because this is going to be like a Hansel and Gretel type story, but like after they went into the forest and faced the witch. I do believe they're going to be adults. Like, this is an adult book. They're going to be much older, and they're going to be dealing with the after effects of that. I think Gretel also has some sort of magic in this world. I don't know if it's like something she's readily able to use or if it's like a reluctant sort of thing, but I'm very curious because I like fairy tale retelling stuff, but I think because it's going to be a very different sort of style with that, I wanted to have this as a discussion. I want us to read this and see how we feel about the fairy tale aspects, the fantasy aspects, the fact that it is supposed to be more of an adult book. My copy is the Illumicrate edition, which is very gorgeous, and so yeah, I really am curious to see how we feel about this one. And then finally, we're going to get into June. So June is going to be Pride Month. I know I have quite a few books that we read during this book club stuff that do have LGBTQ characters and things like that, but I really wanted to make this month a focus on LGBTQ, but also not specifically romance, because I do read a lot of romance, and if it has LGBTQ in there in some way, I usually love it. So what I decided to pick is Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. I was double checking online. It does seem that this is not like a romance LGBTQ. It is a book that has LGBTQ characters, but not like a romance focus. It is going to be light sci-fi as well, and I know our main character is trans. Let's read the rest of it because I'm not sure I can really give you much more than that. So it is Good Omens meets The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, and we read The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet in January, and most of the people that talked about it either in the Discord or in the actual like discussion video, we loved it. So I'm very curious to see about that. I also personally do love Good Omens. So a joyful adventure set in California's San Gabriel Valley with cursed violins, Faustian bargains, and queer alien courtship over fresh-made donuts. Shizuka Satomi made a deal with the devil. To escape damnation, she must entice 7 other violin prodigies to trade their souls for success. She has already delivered 6. When Katrina Wen, a young transgender runaway, catches Shizuka's ear with her wild talent, Shizuka can almost feel the curse lifting. She's found her final candidate. But in a donut shop off a bustling highway in the San Gabriel Valley, Shizuka meets Lan Tran, a retired starship captain, interstellar refugee, and mother of 4. Shizuka doesn't have time for crushes or coffee dates, what with her very soul on the line. But Lan's kind smile and eyes like stars might just redefine a soul's worth, and maybe something as small as a warm donut is powerful enough to break a curse as vast as the California coastline. So again, very, very intrigued by this. Also, I don't know if anybody else is like curious about this, but like TJ Klune blurbed the front. Love the books by him. Everina Maxwell, author of Winter's Orbit, blurbed the inside. Again, another author and book that I really, really enjoy. We have John Scalzi, Max Gladstone, I don't think I've read anything by them, Charlie Jane Anders, Sequoia Nagamatsu, and Jen Lyons. Like, there are a ton of good authors blurbed here. I'm so intrigued by this. Also, I really love the cover. So those are going to be the next 3 months of book picks. So an indie urban fantasy in April, a fantasy fairy tale retelling that is technically a new release in May, and a light sci-fi LGBTQ book in June. Let me know what you think of these picks down below. If you also have any other suggestions for other months that you would really like to get to, you can always leave that too. And if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye!